All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back at another video. I'm gonna do this one of this Chet Hanks, Kianna Parker, situation. I'm gonna use this video to talk about a larger issue, but let's get into this article. Okay, Chet Hanks and an ex-girlfriend are at war over a volatile relationship that recently ended, with both of them slinging allegations of violence, and there's a video of a bloodied Hanks. TMZ has obtained video of what Chet says is the end of an altercation between him and his ex Kianna Parker that turned violent back on January 8th at Chet's place in Sugar Land, Texas. Chet turns the camera on Kianna when she appears to swipe at him as she holds a pot with a bloody Chet reappearing in the next frame, saying she charged at him with the knife, something Kianna denies. Of course she does. A lot of these wiggle white boys, man. Lord. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Chet's not the only one to claim violence. Kianna got a restraining order against Chet in January, alleging he roughed her up on multiple occasions between October 2020 and January 2021. During one incident, while the couple was in New Orleans for Chet to shoot Your Honor, Kianna claims he became enraged when she said she was going to leave the room at the Windsor Court Hotel to get food, grabbing her wrist and arms and flinging her around to keep her in the room. Chet denies the allegations and says he never even knew she went to court for a TRO. She says tables were knocked over and he chucked a bottle at her, even claiming he chased her down the hallway in his boxes. She also alleges he told her. I apologize, y'all. That shit was just funny. He told her that no one would believe her because she was just a ghetto black bitch and he was Chet Hanks. It sounds very familiar. Sounds like the Chad Wheeler situation when Chad Wheeler beat the hell out of that black girl for not bowing down to him like he was a god or some shit. But anyway, for his part, Chet recently filed a lawsuit against Kianna over January's bloody face incident. He says it started when he broke things off with Kianna after learning she'd allegedly been stealing from him, racking up thousands of dollars on his credit card and making off with a ton of his property too. Interesting. That sounds way too familiar. But anyway, Chet goes on to claim Kianna showed up that day with three men, one of whom he says flashed a gun at him. He's suing her for assault and battery theft and return of the money she allegedly stole from him. As for Kianna's version of January 8th incident, she says in docs she came by Chet's place to get her stuff with movers in tow. She says Chet was antagonizing her and he grabbed a knife in a menacing way. That's when she says she grabbed a pot in self-defense and swung it, making a run for it shortly thereafter. She claims he chased her out to the street where she says he attacked her right there in the open until others came to her aid. Chet shares a child with another black woman named Tiffany. And just recently he alluded to the fact that he's really into black women. Really? You're really into black women? Really? Anyway, this is as he offered a follow-up explainer to his controversial white boy summer clip, which went viral. Okay, now I wanted to cover that because I want to talk about, interracial relationships. And, a lot of people think, it's like the old saying, I'm going to entitle this video, "The grass isn't always greener on the other side." Now, I know that may seem corny, but it's just the truth. Now, y'all probably wondering why I'm showing 4 niggas. Now, this is a movie called The Brothers that came out 20 years ago. It's a very good movie, very entertaining. Starring, of course, D.L. Hughley, Shamar Moore, Morris Chestnut, and Bill Bellamy. Now, Bill Bellamy plays a character by the name of Brian Palmer, who's a lawyer who gets fed up with black women because, and look, not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Brian got thrown in jail by the judge, who was a black woman, who was his ex-girlfriend. She just threw his ass in jail over some petty shit, Now, in this scene in the beginning of the movie, Brian tells the rest of the guys, I'm done with black women, man. I'm done with black women. They carry all this drama. It's so unnecessary. It's so blah, 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 blah. Goes on a rant and vows to never date black women again. Okay? So he then goes to find the whitest white girl in California. This girl named Jessie. Now, this is a scene in the movie where Brian and Jesse are at a diner, and the judge who threw Brian in jail, who was his ex-girlfriend, confronts Jesse and gets all in her face. Now Jesse stands up and goes all Kung Fu Barbie on her ass and flipped her on her back, causing a scene. Brian storms out, all angry and shit, talking about, and then he says, "You're just like all the rest of them." And Jesse, got tight about that shit, saying, "Oh, you thought because I'm a white girl, I was going to be different from these other black women? Are you serious?" And shit like that. And it's a true statement, man. Look, just because, a lot of brothers, they, say, "Man, I'm sick of black women, man. I'm going to go get me a J-Lo or a Shakira or a Britney Spears, a Latina or a white girl especially, because they think that they're different. They're not different. Women are women, man. Now, it just happens that, quote unquote, black women happen to be the worst because, we've been robbed of our culture. They don't know their culture. They don't know their history. Therefore, they don't know their place. They don't know their role. Okay? And don't get twisted. White women, they're the ones who started the feminist movement, led by Gloria Steinem. So they've been bucking up against the patriarchy, quote unquote patriarchy, for years now. They're the ones who started it and got black women to turn on black men. So I don't think it's a great idea going against white girls or trying to go with white girls instead of black girls. But because black women, quote unquote black women, are raised in a matriarchy and no culture, and there are no fathers in their home for the most part, they have far less respect for men than white women do. Now, white women, even the most feminist white woman, she still has a little bit of respect for the quote unquote white man because he's in power. Black men are not in power, at least here in America. So black women have far less respect for black men. Okay, women love power. Like Tony Montana said, first you get the money, then you get the power. Then you get the power, then you get the woman. But anyway, later on in the movie The Brothers, it's revealed why Bill Bellamy's character Brian has a real issue with black women. It's because of his mother. His father, left his mother for a white woman. And that made his mother a very angry, broken person. She wasn't affectionate, and she wasn't as affectionate as Brian thought she needed to be for him and for his little brother. His little brother has no respect for his mother, their mother, and, all this stuff. All this, he become basically a little thug, and Brian wants him to grow up and be a better person. Growing at home with love and affection because he's not getting it from his mother because his mother's an angry, bitter person. So basically, that scene alludes to the fact that, alludes to, the accusation that black women throw at black men. Oh, you don't like black women because you must not like your mother. You must hate your mother. Shit like that. That's what that scene was implying. But for the most part, it's true. It's true. And look, there's no right and wrong. I'm not trying to start, the boy-girl competition, I'm not trying to start all that shit, but for the most part, that's the case. A lot of these dudes do have issues with their mother. They have quote-unquote mommy issues. Some of them, grew up in a home where their mother wasn't affectionate. She wasn't as loving as they think she should be, and she probably should be. And they grow up resentful and disdainful towards black women because their attitude is like, man, my own mother treated me like shit. Can you imagine what other black women are going to treat me like? That's their mentality. That's their thinking. And some of them, God forbid, are molested by older black women. Like, they don't talk about that shit. They just talk about, the black men molesting these little boys and little girls. And look, that's wrong regardless of who's doing it. But like in the movie Antoine Fisher, he was molested by an older female. Okay, not an older male, an older female. The fact that he wanted to get with a black woman after that is a miracle. But, that's what happens. And a lot of them grow disdainful. Okay, so that's basically the point of this video. And I'm using that Chet Hanks, Kianna Parker situation as an example for Kianna Parker.